It's time for another thrift flip, and this time let's make some trendy large-scale home decor. Hi, I'm Alli and welcome to my channel. Today we are taking some thrifted items and transforming them into something a little bit more modern, maybe a little transitional, and stepping away from neutrals to bring in some fun, bolder colors as well. And today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. I'll tell you about them later in the video. Now let's get started. When I was at the thrift store, I found something that I could not pass up, and that is this right here. Now, before you think I'm crazy, this is some sort of floor mat, wall hanging. I think it's a floor mat type of deal. And I was instantly inspired by it because it reminds me of the tambour or fluted trend that is still going around everywhere. And also a very viral product I'm seeing tons of DIYers use, which is pole wrap. This is a way cheaper alternative, $3.99 for this entire sheet, and I had a vision to create some sort of accent table. So I'm gonna walk you along the process of transforming this into something way better. I started by cleaning the mat first because one, it was from the thrift store, and two, because this was probably walked on with shoes that I don't know where it's been. So I used some soap and water and then wiped it all clean before moving on. I envisioned creating a side table with this project, so to make the base, I'm using a cardboard tube. I measured the tube and marked it all the way around at 24 inches. I got this at the hardware store. It is an 8-inch tube in diameter. However, you can also get them in all sorts of sizes, but I went with the smallest one because I figured that would look best for the table that I'm creating today. Once it was all marked, I'm now using this little saw to begin cutting into the tube. I think you could probably even get away with using a hacksaw to do this, but really just use whatever tool you have to cut through the cardboard tube safely. Whoa, look at that, we have a nice tube. Well, we have two tubes, which means we could make two tables, but we're gonna stick to one for this video. I don't know what else to say. Then I took my mat outside, I marked it to 24 inches, and I was very nervous to do this because I wasn't sure how it was going to react with my miter saw, but I was able to cut through this mat using the miter saw so easily. So I cut off the little end where that trim piece was, and I also cut off in that 24-inch mark, so I'd have my perfect little piece. And then back inside, I used a utility knife to cut away that excess edge. Let's take a quick break from the project here to talk about a topic very important to me, which is mental health. And I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. If you're anything like me, and you probably are if you're here watching this video, then you know crafting, DIYing, and creating things is just a great break and escape from the stressors and challenges of day-to-day life. But when it comes to mental health, sometimes you need a little bit more support. Now, I don't talk about this much here on my channel, but I do struggle with anxiety and depression from time to time. And taking care of my mental health when I am feeling that way is a huge priority for me. That's why I wanted to partner with BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp will match you with a licensed therapist based on your needs and a wide range of expertise. Once matched, you'll then be able to message with your therapist at any time and set up weekly appointments to meet virtually. And BetterHelp understands that finding the right therapist for you is just as important, so it's free to change therapists if needed. And the service is available worldwide from the comfort of your home because BetterHelp can be accessed from your phone, tablet, or computer. BetterHelp aims to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient. So if you're wanting to learn more or try BetterHelp yourself, you can visit betterhelp.com/actuallyalli. I also will have that linked in the description box and in the comments. Now we need to see how much of this we need to wrap around here. I'm nervous that it's not going to work out evenly, but let's hope for the best. Just shy of it, but I think a little bit on the back where it's just a little shy. I don't think that's going to be a huge issue. So I want to cut it right here. To adhere the mat onto the tube to finally start creating that slatted tambour look that we're going for, I'm using some liquid nails and a caulking gun, and I just spread that on evenly on the mat, placed the tube down in place, and then rolled the entire thing up. Finally, since the mat piece didn't fit perfectly, I did adhere a small strip. This will just be on the back, but I thought it made it look a little cleaner. While the adhesive is drying for the base of the table, we need a table top. This poor table over here is going to be the victim. I mentioned in my dining room makeover video, I was not happy with how this table turned out. It just didn't have the stability that it needed. So I am taking the legs off of it and I'm gonna repurpose the tabletop for this project. I took the tabletop outside and I sanded the edges. It really did need a nice sand on the edges. By the way, this is a 16-inch wood round that I am using. You can get these in a variety of sizes at the hardware store. I'm then using my favorite wood stain, which is Early American, and I'm trying out this 3 times faster dry time stain by Varathane. I will say I wasn't super happy with the color. It almost gave a more painted kind of look than a stained look, but I did like the actual tones that it gave the wood. I think it is perfect for this project. And I also picked up this little 8-inch round bosswood circle from Michaels. This is completely optional. I thought it would make a nice detail to kind of plug the bottom of the table, and I also gave that a nice coat of the stain as well. While that stain dries, it is time to move on to the paint. I'm using a sample of Oceania right here, you can see, and I just started applying the paint straight onto the tube like so, and I gave it 3 really nice even coats. Once everything was dry, it is time to assemble. So I used some more of that liquid nails around the bottom of the tube, and then pressed that into place on top of this wood round here where it fit perfectly and added a really nice detail to the bottom. I also made sure to use some painter's tape to hold that in place while the glue cured. And then I just repeated that around the top of the tube with some more liquid nails and placed the top as best as I could, nice and centered, and weighed it down with this container here until it dried. And once all the glue had cured, I hit both of the wood pieces with some satin poly finish. Next project, let's do some DIY art using this thrifted artwork right here. I actually do really like this. I think it's kind of cute with the flowers, and the colors of blue really do match what I have going on in my apartment. However, it is kind of falling out of the frame, and it was pretty cheap, $7.99, and thrifting canvases or artwork like this is such a great way to get an affordable base to do larger scale art. So I think we can give this a little bit more of a transformation into that more transitional kind of modern look. Since this is already coming out of the frame, I figured why not just remove it. We don't have to worry about any sort of taping off or anything like that, and this will stay intact. I usually do my artwork in a portrait style, but I decided to go landscape this time. And to prime my canvas, I am using some white chalk paint. Of course, you can also use gesso if that is in your stash, but this is what I had on hand, and this worked perfectly fine. Don't mind me, just trying to speed things along here. Now, one of the tried and true methods for adding texture to a canvas is with joint compound or drywall mud. I mixed this into a container I didn't care about with some white acrylic paint until there was a pretty nice consistency where it would spread easily but still have a nice thick texture that held on the canvas. Now, when I started applying the texture, I did it super intentionally. I'm gonna pop a little diagram on the screen here of what I did. Basically, what I wanted to do was put the texture onto the canvas first and then build the paint colors on top of it. I thought this would create maybe a cooler look than mixing everything in and then having to wait for dry time between each of the colors. It just felt more efficient. It felt a little bit more different and unique than something I would traditionally do. And the overall result does turn out pretty well. Also, side note, my joint compound was a little old where I definitely need to replace it, and so it was a little chunky in some spots, which I wasn't the most happy about, but in the overall result, I think it does add maybe a little bit of an interesting texture. I don't know. And with that last stroke of joint compound on the canvas, I let that dry for several hours before moving on. Now it is finally time to paint, and I'm starting with some white as my base, and then I'm layering in a couple other neutral tones. I will write what the paint colors I used in the description box if you are curious. And I just used my brush to mix it together and just started painting it onto the corresponding sections on the canvas. So this is the main backing color first. Then I mixed in a little bit more of a taupey beige color to do these two little extra textured sections right here. Now for this other larger area on the left side of the canvas, I'm mixing in some blue, some gray, and then I also ended up adding in a little bit of some black and white as well to create kind of a neutral bluey gray tone, which I think turned out really, really pretty. And I layered that onto the canvas in this spot right here and another little area in the bottom right corner. Finally, I wanted to create some really big, bold brushstroke moments on this piece, and I wanted to go with a navy blue or almost black navy blue. So I started with some navy blue acrylic paint, some black, and I mixed that together and then just used this larger paintbrush here to add a ton of paint onto this canvas like so. And I really love how this looks, almost like individual brush strokes just painted right on the canvas with nice thick textured paint. It really layered over that joint compound layer so incredibly well. Now after I let that dry, I did realize this felt like it was just missing something. It felt so plain. That's when I decided I needed to go in with some more color tones in each of these sections. Definitely would have been easier to just do that right away from the beginning, but what I did was take my little paint palettes there, layered in all the colors that I had already used to make each of the colors, but then sort of adding maybe a little bit more black for a couple brush strokes, a little bit more white, a little bit more of the navy blue into that light blue you see me doing right here. Just trying to bring in a little bit more variety in my brush strokes, and I found really wetting down the brush and applying that with a wet brush stroke and then blending it in with some extra water as well helped to make it all look incorporated and intentional versus a afterthought of realizing, oh, I should have probably done that at the beginning. I think that's why I really enjoy painting so much, is because it does feel like it's so forgiving. If you mess up an area, you can always go back over it. It's such a fun skill to have that I think anybody can really do, especially a painting like this. This one is so easy and beginner friendly, and I definitely recommend you try something fun, geometric, and abstract, especially if you're new or maybe don't feel confident in your painting abilities just yet. And once my art piece was completely dry, I then just used some hot glue and attached the art back into the frame. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Again, if you want to learn more, the link is in the description box. And if you enjoyed these thrift flips and want to see more, then you might want to check out this video right here. Or if you want to see something else, then I suggest this one right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!